Welcome to Secrets of a Bridal Seamstress podcast, where we hear stories from fellow seamstresses just like you. We're able to share their success stories. We learn from wedding industry pros for the best business tips, and we get to hear from fellow sewists and crafters to hopefully inspire our creativity and our love for sewing. I'm so glad that you're here. And if you're a bridal seamstress, I'd also like to invite you to check out our Bridal Seamstress business membership. We have a community of women that can testify to the power of genuine connection, friendship, vulnerability, the power of our six-figure seamstress method, and a genuine connection found in a business mentorship like this. All right, let's dive into the episode. All right, welcome back to Secrets of a Bridal Seamstress podcast. I'm so excited to have Nina Adio. I almost said patio.
Right, yeah.
Because right before we recorded, I was like, I want to make sure I'm pronouncing your last name correctly. And she said it's Adio like patio. And I was telling her, I love a good rhyme. Like, if you can introduce yourself to me with some kind of association, your name will be locked in there. So, but I'm so excited for this conversation because Nina is here to talk about more social media tips. And if you've been listening to the podcast, you probably remember that we recently had an episode with Renee Dallow about the importance of visibility and kind of like getting over yourself to just put yourself out there. So this will be like a great part two and a great reminder. I know, Nina, as my busy season is picking up, kind of the last thing I want to think about is posting on social media. And as of today, it's been like a week at least since I posted on both platforms. So I'm like, oh gosh, I need you. So first of all, tell us about I Do Marketing, like all that, and then tell us how to be Instagram gurus. Or even
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
just a few tips of like how to do the thing and not feel like it needs to be perfect or, as good as the next person.
Yeah, because I'm big on if you're not everyone's cut out to be an Instagram guru, but if we can get Instagram tolerant, if we can
Love
make
it.
Instagram maybe not a great place, but an okay place
Yeah.
to hang out. That's the first goal. And that's the thing I'm really big on. So I do wedding marketing after working in-house with a group of wedding venues on social media. At the time then, social media was not what it is today. It
Yeah.
was not even I couldn't major in social media when I was in school. It didn't even exist like that yet.
Yeah.
Brands weren't doing it. And so I had a viral America's Next Top Model Tumblr, not even a blog, it was a Tumblr. And that's what I used on my resume. And my
Okay.
first big opportunity was with a group of wedding venues. And they were great because they're like, look, there's no ad budget. That's your salary. So just do what you want to do and make it happen. And so I started learning these organic strategies that I was using to remind people that the brand existed, right? That's what we want to do at the end of the day. Just
Find
remind
people,
people
brand.
that you exist. Yeah.
It's easy. I can do that.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
that
And
I'm here.
so,
Okay.
yeah, that's why we started I Do Wedding Marketing. We realized that it was, a formula that we could replicate. And I remember asking the girls I worked with, is this less fun after you get married? And they all said yes. But for me, it never stopped being fun. And I
Mhm.
think a lot of the listeners can probably relate to that.
Oh yeah. Like I still love I love when a bride first walks in. I still love seeing like, okay, what style of dress did she pick? Like, I still get so excited about it. I love talking about weddings. I love hearing about the details. Like, it doesn't get old to me. So, if you're in the wedding industry, there's a reason, you know?
Yeah, and that's a post right there, right? Why do you love, working with the wedding industry and bridal gowns? And what about that experience is special? And it can be
Mm,
as simple as that to start. And that's going to make someone feel comfortable, right?
right.
When they see how much, your business is wanted or how much they appreciate your journey or that they understand it's a big deal. Like this may be our 9 to 5, but also we understand this is one of the biggest decisions you're going to make.
Yes, yes, yeah. And like you're not just say like a run-of-the-mill bride, like
Mhm.
everybody's unique. Okay, I love it. I feel like I should be taking notes. I like writing a list of what the post could be. I'm interested when you first started working with social media before it was a thing. When I first started posting, I think it was like 2017 when I was really trying, and it was so fun then.
Yes.
And I was like, oh my
Yes.
gosh, I got like 200 likes by posting a picture of a wedding dress. And, or I would like, it was just so much easier. And now it's like you have to, I don't know, it can feel harder. So that's why I'm feeling for our listeners who are feeling overwhelmed. And I just saw a reel like literally last night. I was, of course, like scrolling on the way to bed. And or before I went to sleep, and it was like millennials scrolling Instagram, like wishing it could go back to like, 2016 when we were like using the Valencia filter.
Oh,
And I'm like,
and
yeah, like,
oh,
can I just post a picture of like what I'm eating or whatever? Like, it was so, life was so much easier then.
it was, and let me tell you, this is the strategy that worked then in like 2016, 2017. So I would have the photos, and then I had a bookmark of Goodreads, which is the book reading app, and they had
Hmm.
a love quotes page. I would just copy and paste a love quote, and
Oh,
that was it. And
I
that was all
remember
you
those days.
needed then. Yeah, they were great, but now, so what you could do instead is, if you want to use ChatGPT with it too, you could then instead of a love quote, what you got to add more. You got to mention maybe the designer was, what you did with the dress, who you are, and where you service, right? Like those are the searchable terms that are helping Instagram to file your content. And that's also why we love, right? You can't just even put a caption anymore. You got to put those vendor tags. Like you bet
Right.
put those vendor tags, or at least the venue, if you know that, whatever you know, or even if it's the designer, because when it comes to the algorithm, birds of a feather flock together. So
Mhm.
as they see these other wedding industry professionals in your area interacting with your content, they know to associate your content with them. So as brides and grooms and couples are starting to interact with, let's say, wedding venues in a specific region, if they see you within that world, your content will start to get pushed out to them. And it's all
Yes.
kind of just that flow.
Yes, yeah. Because even within our membership, we talk about how it's not about just what you're posting, but it's also important of like what you're commenting on the other people because those comments
Mhm.
pop up or like I haven't said it like you did about like just the algorithm knows, but yeah, duh, that makes so much sense too. But I'm just thinking of like when couples are like, looking for a potential venue and then they see my little comment, it's like, oh, what Sweet Brains is so and co or whatever, like the
Mhm.
comments matter too. So that's super, yeah, that's a nice
I
thing to.
love that you mentioned the comments because that's also why an optimized profile is so important, right? Because if somebody sees your comment, you don't need to go, hey, I have a membership for seamstresses, right? Like, because they can see your comment, whatever, it's a genuine comment, and then they see your handle, Secrets of a Bridal Seamstress.
Mhm.
That's already given a big clue. Then they click it, one look at your profile, and we know who you are and what you're about. So that's what we want everybody's profile to be. So especially if you're location specific, to put that in
Mhm.
there so people know, because they're not going to hunt. They're going to look once to see if you're in their area, and then they're only going to search so much, right?
Yes,
Because
yeah,
we're dealing with very fleeting attention spans on Instagram, and Instagram doesn't help us. They want people on Instagram. They don't want you going to their site,
right.
to your site. So you really have to make all your most important information out there, which is your services and where you provide them.
Yeah, that's excellent. Even so, I live in Olympia, and locals call Olympia Oli, and so like even my little like sub bio on my local
Hmm.
Instagram is like Oli's bridal seamstress. So it's like as soon as you see, okay, I'm here in Olympia, whatever. And
Perfect.
what baffles me too is like working with clients either on their Instagram and also on their website, like there's zero location to be found. So it's like you have to go so deep into this website to find out like where the heck these people are working. Like where's their studio? Like I don't know, Kentucky. I know I'm veering off to websites and we talked about kind of sticking to
No,
social
it's
media.
it's
But it's
all
like
aligned.
I love the reminder to have the location on your Instagram. And if you're feeling like, well, I feel like we're kind of past this, but I remember there was a time when we were like, we didn't want our location shared or people to, on the interwebs to know
Hmm.
where we live. But you can still have a general area or even like
Yes,
your
just the
state.
county,
Just
yeah, state, county, region, whatever it is,
yeah.
just put New York. That could mean a million things, but it's closer than nothing, right? Because if
Yes.
I'm in Long Island, I'm at least gonna hunt a little more because you said New York. If you said
Yeah.
nothing, I may not hunt at all.
Yes. Yeah. That's great. Where are you located, by the way?
I'm in Long Island, New York.
Oh, that's so funny. So we have like three or four members of Secrets of Rattle Seamstress on Long Island. So it's the place to be, apparently.
Yes, I've been to Kirsten's salon and studio, so that
Oh
has
my
been
goodness.
great.
You're kidding.
Hmm.
For like
Yeah.
brides on Long Island?
Well, not for Brides of Long Island, but we did some social media together for a few months.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. Oh, that is so funny.
Hmm.
Okay, tell us, speaking of that, tell us about your client wins. Because I know you're saying you have a formula of like
Yes.
what works, for social media or whatever. So tell us the kind of things that you've seen firsthand with your clients that listeners can be like, okay, I can take that and like do it on Monday or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Really, it's just the basic B-roll and hook reels, right? Those are the easiest to do
Mhm.
right now, and you can really batch schedule those out. And so the hooks are, I should open up a list so I can know, but like no one else will tell you this, but
Mhm.
something that's gonna make people stop because they want to know what you're saying, but also reveals something about you. Like no one else will tell you this, but your body's beautiful as it is and ready for your wedding gown. Maybe you do something like that so they know you're not here to judge. You're here for brides who are ready as they are, something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
And you just pair it, you just take footage of yourself sewing or steaming, or, Kirsten has great examples of that. If you go to her
KG
profile,
Alts. Yes.
yes,
Or
KG Alts.
Alts. Yes.
Um,
We'll link it in the
yeah,
show notes.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So pairing those things, right? For me personally, it's not just about trends. Some people want all trends, which is
Right.
great. I like to balance them because I find the trends bring in new people, but the carousels and maybe the B-roll reels, those convert. So you
Mhm.
want a blend of both because maybe, a reel with the dress that's with a trend, maybe a content creator made, that will get new eyes on it. But then maybe some photos of the dress so people can really look at it and kind of
Mhm.
analyze it the way we do. I find that helps to then get the website clicks in. And
Yeah.
that's the goal. And when you look at your Instagram analytics, it's usually the smallest number your website clicks, but it's the most important because when somebody stops their doom scroll to one, go to your profile, and then two, go to your website, to me, that's a pretty considerable lead. They have some interest because
Wow.
they
Okay.
stopped the scroll. So look at that number in your analytics. And then what you also want to look
Okay.
at,
Let's pause. Tell us where to find
yes.
those numbers.
Okay, so we'll do it from your cell phone because most will be looking on the app. So you tap your icon, and then as long as you're a professional business or creator account, you'll see professional dashboard. When you get there, tap views and then scroll to the bottom, and it will let you know what your link taps are this month and how they compare to the previous month.
Link
What you can
tags. Okay, that's
also
great.
do that, Nadine, this doesn't work for, they don't have this for reels, but for regular posts, you can see if your most popular post generated link taps. So it will
Mhm.
show you if somebody looked at this post, then went to your profile, then went to your website. And if you can track that, what you do from there is replicate it because you want people to your website. So studying those analytics, nothing crazy, but going in once a month to see what work, because you may say, Nina, I know you don't want to do all trends, but the trends work for me. So then you would keep up with that. You got to study what's performing.
Yes, yeah. And I think too, I love that because it's more it's like conversion focused as opposed
Yeah.
to like fame focused or like going viral. Like remember why
Hmm.
we're using this tool. It's free and we've said this so many times like on the podcast within the membership. It takes the pressure off of you having to like be famous on Instagram. But just remember what the goal is, and it's to get your local clients to find you and want to work with you. And so that is a great way to track if your social media is actually working for you instead of getting distracted by like the number of likes or comments or whatever.
Yeah, and if you're camera shy, just doing up close footage of the garments, of the sewing, of the
Mhm.
materials, and starting there till you get more comfortable, it's certainly enough. And look, what I always tell people is content with you in it always performs better. Once you
Mhm.
start sprinkling in photos of yourself, let those likes, kind of help. But also what happens is every when you do kind of like an introduction post again, the past brides tend to comment, and then you get natural reviews on it just by reintroducing yourself, and then you get that credibility because new
Mhm.
customers will see, wow, look at all these nice comments she got, from
Yeah,
her
yeah, yeah,
past
yeah.
clients. So, I try to butter people up when they're shy and say, well, pick out a photo you really like. Let's start with that. And then when they see what comes in after. So it's a buildup. If you're not comfortable, take it in
Mhm.
baby steps and you'll get there.
Yeah. Aside from like Instagram or the social media piece, what have past clients come to you with? Like, hey, these are other common marketing struggles, and then you kind of give them a few steps, and they're seeing results aside from Instagram proper.
Yeah, a lot TikTok, integrating
Oh,
TikTok is a
why do you have to say TikTok?
I know, and
Oh
I feel the
no.
same. What I like to do is I like to actually use CapCut. Have you ever heard of that
Yeah.
app?
Mhm.
Yeah, and CapCut, for those listening who aren't familiar with it, it's an application, but it also works on desktop. And you get templates that are kind of TikTok ready. So when I mentioned earlier just doing the B-roll and hook TikToker reel, they have those templates there where it's a 7-second video with text over it. And so I just go in there, pick one of those, upload one of my own videos and add some text over it. And you can get them done pretty quick. But you can also do those great meme reels. Like there's a lot of Schitt's Creek ones.
Oh yeah.
Those where it will be, a clip from a popular movie or video, and then you add in your own background and you add in your own hook.
Yeah.
So
We
there's
have
one of,
examples of that on Secrets of Bridal Seamstress if you guys want to check that out.
oh,
I
great,
don't think it's
perfect.
so, but here's the thing. This is what you need to help me with. With the TikToks, I I didn't know that you could post those on TikTok. I thought TikTok was supposed to be like organic, like sitting in your car, like coming up with funny things to say. And I'm like, I'm not that interesting.
With TikTok, it's also a bit of a volume game. So I do
Hmm.
both. I do both types.
Okay.
And, I mean, TikTok is certainly great for behind the scenes and maybe even explaining, right? So let's say you have a photo of someone's dress. You don't have the footage, but if you green screen that, so the photo of the gown you worked on is behind you, and then it's you talking, saying, this is what we did. This is what she came in and wanted. Or for those, I
Mhm.
know Kirsten had done the wedding gown reinventions.
Oh yeah.
Those are great for talking behind the scenes content on TikTok. So even if you don't have that camera library of
Mhm.
stuff, you're still able to use past content by taking photos you have and then talking over it to explain what you did. And that's how you can get that DIY piece of it.
Okay. I love it. Okay.
I
We
was
can't.
recently working with it was the Association of Wedding Gown Specialists. So I thought they were going to be seamstresses. And
Hmm.
then I get there and I was like, "Oh my God, they're dry cleaners." And I had no idea, so I had to like change my presentation, and a lot of it was about the gown preservation, but they said the content of them cleaning the gowns does so well because people just like to watch it. You know,
Yes.
just like to see
Yes.
the gratification. So things like time lapses of, when a piece is coming together, or just little elements, or even just the relaxing of the steaming. That stuff
Yes.
is a novelty is just regular to you guys, but somebody else finds it very soothing and fun to watch.
Or a good press. Who doesn't like
Yeah.
to see something come out nice and crisp on the
Oh,
other side of a good press?
yeah.
That's really good to remember because we are so used to our life that it's like, and you know what I mean? And
Mhm.
it's not mundane, but it's like, okay, what I did this every day. I just like a couple weeks ago, I saw a friend that I hadn't seen in a long time, and she was like, I just feel like you have such a dream life. And I'm like, "Oh, what? Oh, okay. Yeah." She's like, you're just working with wedding gowns and with brides. And I'm like, "Oh, I need to monetize this, like,
Yeah.
yes, I do have a dream life. Okay, like, how do I convince you that this is," I mean, you know what I mean? Like, so thinking it through the or looking at our businesses or what we do through the eyes of people who don't do it every day. And it is exciting
Mhm.
and it's really cool. And it's like we get to talk about weddings all the time or like work on these beautiful dresses. And so what I'm hearing from you is play that up and break it down to the smallest bite-sized portions of
Yeah.
your day or your like tasks and
Romanticize it, romanticize what you do.
ooh, okay.
Yeah,
Romanticize. I'm gonna write that
yeah.
one down.
I thought of one real example or trending that this could TikTok or Instagram. It's a popular one right now or concept where it's in quotes, AI is going to take your job, right? Then you
Mhm,
would show yourself pressing, you would show yourself steaming, you would
mhm.
show yourself doing cutting things no one wants to do maybe. And
Yeah.
then you go, when? When is
Exactly.
AI going to take this job? And those posts have been doing really well because they're funny, they're cheeky, and they show a bit of the non-romanticized stuff,
Right,
but
right,
it's
right.
fun. Mhm.
Ooh, I could do that. I could,
Yeah,
yes. Okay, I might do that today. I have a good
yeah,
outfit on. I
exactly.
can do this.
Yeah, do it. Yeah. Or you could be cleaning the mirror behind you, whatever it is, and you're
Yes.
like, "Come,
Yeah.
AI, take it, take this."
That's another thing is just remember like being camera ready. And one of my friends, Trisha just talked about this with me of like, because I'm like, I don't know when to do it or I'll forget or another day goes by and it's like, oh shoot, like there was nothing recorded. So she's like, always just be ready to be on camera, like, and just pull your camera out and record something so that like there's at least one part of your day every day where you could record yourself somehow. So I'm like, okay. So the days where I do have my eyebrows filled in, I can,
Yep.
get some a B-roll happening or stock up on it. And if you're kind of new to this game and you're like, I don't know, I love setting a timer for things or setting an alarm. Like set the alarm, whatever, record yourself for you can switch out your shirts if you need to do that or give
Hmm.
yourself like 10 minutes just to record stuff and then put a little folder in your phone. I'm talking about this like I'm a pro, like I'm like the best poster and I'm absolutely not, but for the few times that I do post, I shouldn't say few, but you know what I'm saying.
No, give
It's
yourself
some
more
kind of
credit.
method, okay, or else it
And
doesn't
that what you're talking about is what I do too. I put it all into a Google Drive folder called
oh,
B-roll. So
okay.
this way I can access it from my computer too if I want, because
Hmm.
sometimes I'll use Canva and CapCut to make them. And the a good time to do it is the 2 minutes before either a Zoom or when an appointment comes in and you don't want to start anything new but you're ready for the appointment. It's just put your camera up and type or write on
Yes.
a notepad or
Okay, I
check
love
your
that.
nails, take a sip of your coffee, open
Mhm.
the blinds, open your laptop.
Yeah.
So, and that's like the because all you need is 30 seconds, right? Because of
Mhm.
that 30, we're probably going to take 7 seconds of that clip.
Mhm.
So that's like the perfect in between time for when you don't want to start something new. Someone's coming in any minute.
Yeah, that is actually brilliant because even just before this call, I was like, well, could I sew in the bus cups? No, I don't have time. Well, I'll just sip my water. You know what I mean? So
Yes,
it's like
exactly. Well,
I would
record
have
it. That's we want to see you sipping your water.
that is so funny and it's very real. Yeah. And then
Hmm.
I know seamstresses can relate to this because if we have a day of fittings, the last thing that we want to do is like sew in between appointments. Like we tell ourselves that we're
Hmm.
going to, but you don't. You just are sitting there. So like, okay, whip out your phone and do something with it because you're just tootling around anyway. So take advantage of it. You're probably looking presentable for your clients, hopefully. So take advantage of that too. So that is a great tip to take home. Oh my goodness.
Also, I want to stress you don't have to do anything with it now. Like, don't feel the
Mhm.
pressure that because you recorded it, now you have to make a reel and do something. I kind of do it, I batch create it. So when I'm ready and in the zone, I'll just make a bunch of things at a time and schedule them out and see how far I got. And maybe you
Yeah.
got a week's worth of content, maybe you got a month, but you'll have all the material there and you'll have the different clips and outfits to use. And you'll be able to get far because of all that prep work. So don't feel the
Oh,
pressure that you have to do it today. When you're ready and motivated, just start.
yeah. And I was just gonna say that takes the pressure off, is like, okay,
Hmm.
so do you have a like an app that you like to schedule all of your posts or do you do
Yeah.
it per app?
I use an app called Later. I find on an agency level it's well because it's easy to go from different accounts. So let's say for someone like you, if you have your membership account and then your business account, and if you had another, it's really great. Otherwise, I recommend NG. It's really low cost
How
and
do
you
you
can
spell that?
post
NG.
ENJI.
Oh, okay, I would not have
Yeah.
spelled it that way. Okay.
And you can go to Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. You can post everywhere, all from there. And they do have an opening model that's free, so you can
Oh,
see if you
cool.
like it first. And then lastly, if you have to use the native platforms, you can. TikTok, you can schedule from your desktop, so that's nice. And then with Meta Business Suite, you can schedule for Facebook and Instagram. So if you don't want to invest yet, see if batch scheduling works for you. But if it does, then I really encourage you to make that investment, because then you
Yeah.
can cross post it with just a click and you can get really ahead, and
Ooh,
it
it feels
starts
so
to
good just
become
hearing you
fun.
say that.
Yeah,
I'm
it
gonna do it
becomes
now.
fun. It becomes a lot of fun. And the best part is when you start to see what I call the trickles coming in.
Hmm.
So, I recommend people spend just 10 minutes a day on their Instagram. So that could be your commercial break, you're waiting for the water to boil or your coffee to come out, whatever it is. And just pick maybe your favorite venues that your ideal bride goes to, or what nice restaurants in your area do people get engaged at, or when it's
Mm.
fall, what are the silly pumpkin patches they're all getting their couples photos at,
Yes,
places
yes.
like that. And interact there, remind people you exist, either leave a genuine comment or maybe like 3 of their posts, or
Hmm.
respond to a story. And after just 10 minutes of that, you see the trickle and you start to see followers coming in and you start to see engagement coming back. And it feels really good, and it kind of gamifies it and
Yes.
makes it a lot of fun.
Okay. Ooh, I'm excited. I love that. And pick a topic, find those accounts, give yourself
Hmm.
a couple comments. Yeah, that's great. And it's
And
very doable, which I appreciate.
yeah, and keeping it local is what I find helps. I find the realtors engage back. I know they may not be the target client, but if you're just looking for fast engagement, I like to hit up the
Yeah.
realtors. So
Oh,
that's
that's
my
super.
tip, because they
That's,
hustle on social media.
yes. Oh, that is so fun. Now I'm going to be paying attention to like, are these realtors? Yeah. Who are these?
Yeah, yeah.
So, okay, we haven't talked much about Facebook, but you dropped
Mm,
just now. And I feel like I do have just a different demographic on Facebook. Oftentimes
mhm.
it is maybe the older brides or like the moms of the brides, but they're out there and don't sleep on the Facebook page
Yes,
because
yes.
um and even like we're trying to spend more time on our Secrets of Bridal Seamstress Facebook page because there are so many people there who aren't normally on Instagram. They just feel more comfortable on that app. And like I want to include them on the fun stuff too, like the fun questions or whatever. So my assistant and I are rolling out like a question of the day or like a couple questions of the week just to keep that engagement going. And so I'm thinking, how can I do this too with my local Facebook page or just be more aware of like including these folks, like the Facebook people, in the
Hmm.
social media posting too, not just Instagram or thinking about TikTok, you know? So is
Yeah,
there
and
something specific that we should keep in mind for Facebook?
well, what I kind of feel about Facebook is the people who haven't discovered Reddit yet as a message board use Facebook and Facebook groups to really communicate and
Mhm.
tag people. And there are a lot of really good and relevant local Facebook groups kind of in every area.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why it's so important to keep posting to Facebook and stay relevant there. And I like to make sure I'm following local accounts, especially local wedding venues or the salons and so forth, and
Yeah.
keeping those relationships there, because they have a social media person too who is
Mhm.
on the Facebook, and they
Yeah.
have their mother of the brides who are on the Facebook, and
Hmm.
people are there and they are asking questions there. And with Facebook, it's almost a little bit like Threads, which is a text app, where it's less about the video content all the time and the photos, but you can just post a status update like the old days. And
Yeah.
they now make it so it's like pretty, like how
Right.
now when you do text posts, but text posts alone do work on Facebook.
Yeah.
And it can be a lot of fun. Maybe you ask, what bridal shows is everyone going to this
Hmm.
quarter, or who's
Right.
having a show this quarter, or
Yeah.
even just saying, this is our favorite coffee spot, but don't worry, we're not going to spill it. We
Yeah.
don't
Oh,
have it
that's
while
so
we're
cute. Yeah.
sewing or whatever it is. And then this way you're tagging the local,
Mhm.
accounts while still relating it, to what
Yeah.
you do.
I already just feel so excited. Like, okay, I feel like there's so many ideas in this episode. So, and thinking back again to like, the good old days circa
Yeah.
2018, I would do like a post of like how to pamper a bride or how to pamper a local bride, and I would tag all these like local businesses, and
Hmm.
I felt like I just did such cute stuff back then. And now like I don't know. I don't even think about it anymore. And part of it too is, and I know so many listeners can relate. They're like, I'm already busy. I'm already booked. So, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Yeah.
I tend to get in that where it's like, okay, well, whatever. And I don't want to just forget about like, my social presence or whatever because I'm like, well, we're good. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't need to be either or I think too, from what I'm hearing from you is sometimes when we think about social media, we think about ourselves. Like we want to grow our brand, we want to grow our presence, but what it's also doing is like kind of serving your community or educating the community or getting your brides excited about like what it is that you do. So if it helps me if I'm thinking about it as like that type of content motivator instead of like, oh, I want to grow my brand more because once you become established, that motivation goes out the door. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes.
So it's like,
Hmm.
what's your motivation going to be?
Yeah, and sometimes the vanity metrics can help, right? And
Yeah.
I think what also can deter us from wanting to post is the level of production that's expected with it.
Mhm.
But what's nice about the wedding industry is that ideally, we don't always get it, but each wedding is going to likely have professional photos, maybe a content creator, maybe a videographer. So it's
Mhm.
always great to follow your brides because then they
Yeah.
start
Oh,
posting
yeah.
that, and then asking if you can share it, and then tagging them or asking them to collaborate in it. And then what happens is their friends see it because it's on their friends' feed. Ideally, or we can assume that if somebody's getting married, they may have friends who are at the same
Mhm.
stage of life. So,
Yep.
and also, not everybody knows what you do and when they're going to need it, right?
Mhm.
So, not everyone knows that their bridal salon won't take care of the alterations as
Oh, yeah.
well, or that they may need somebody else, or that their mother may need someone, or that they want to reinvent their mother's gown, or all of these different scenarios. So, by posting in different ways, right? By doing photos, by doing carousels, by doing reels, you're attracting different people and giving the same message in different ways so you can hit the right person at the right time.
Oh, I love that. I love that. So recently I've been blogging more with both with Secrets of Royal Seamstress and with Sweet Francis Sewing Co., my local business. And so when my assistant and I are thinking about how to promote the blog, it's like there's a static blog post, and then I want to be just talking like a talking head about here's a blog post that you can go to, or like share a quote from the blog post, or like because I like how you worded that you're going to attract a different type of
Mhm.
or yeah, consumer reader based on how you promote it. So kind of thinking, checking off all the boxes as you're promoting
Yeah.
whatever it is that you want to promote. Hmm.
And what happens a lot when, especially when batch scheduling, which is what I'm recommending people do, is that you may go, well, I already said that, right? You've
Yeah.
like, and to you, you feel like you said it 30 times because you just did 30 days of content, but nobody else is consuming your content that way. We're
Mhm.
fighting for them to even see it.
Yeah.
And even if they did, somebody may not realize they need a seamstress until they see that dress on them, right? And then they go, wait, or they may not realize, like I said before, it's not taken care of with the salon,
Yeah.
or maybe the salon gave them several options and now they're going to Instagram or to Facebook or TikTok to decide where they want to go. So it's all about timing too, and repeating those messages.
Hmm. I love it. We can do this. Listeners, we
Yeah.
can do
Yeah.
this. And
And
I touched on all the social medias. We can do all of them.
yeah, and just start, if you have to, just start with photos of your work. It can be that simple. And if it's at the venue, tag the venue, see if they want to collaborate. We had done one where the venue was hosting a big golfing event, the Ryder Cup. So we posted that bride that day, made it about the venue and the Ryder Cup. So the venue accepted the collaboration. So now it
Mhm,
went on the seamstress's feed and the venue, and you got more people. So if you make it about who you want to collab with, which
mhm.
means it goes on their profile too, you're more likely to get that acceptance.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, totally. Because I know I've been invited to be a collaborator, and I'm like, what? Okay.
Yes, yes. Like for example, people will ask the venue to collab at a photo that's at the church or at the
Mhm.
couple's house. And it's like, well, why would I want this on the venue's feed? It doesn't
Yeah.
show the venue. So you have to
Right.
think about who you're asking a little intentionally.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, I love it. So listeners, we have some homework. So and
Yes.
this might be an episode that you listen to again, take some notes. But Nina, tell us where we could keep learning from you, or yeah, how to learn more about I do marketing or what you do.
Yeah, so if you go to idoweddingmarketing.com, we also have the I Do Wedding Marketing podcast, which we're going to be recording for with you on the show
Yay.
next week. We record that, I think. So that's going to be fun. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
And I've recently launched a social media membership. It's called the Social Studio. And what it does is I give you those content prompts every week. I'm giving you those hooks for the reels. I'm giving you trending reels, trending audios. I'm giving you a monthly content calendar. So you don't even have to think about concepts or captions. So if
Hmm.
you're not able to hire a social media manager, this is at least a starting point where it's
Oh,
just
I love that.
$27 a month and you get all of those ideas in the community. So we're really excited about that.
Oh, that's great. That's worth the $27. Is just give me the ideas, please.
Yeah, yeah. So if you go to see me on Instagram at I Do Wedding Marketing, the link there will have a link to the social
Mhm.
studio.
Okay, very cool. Well, thank you, Nina. I'm so excited. This is going to be a great episode to like just put a little pep in our step.
Yeah,
The
absolutely.
confidence
Thank
that
you.
we can, because I feel like our last social media episode was a lot about like your face, like being
Hmm.
like showing yourself. And there's a big part of our listener demographic that's like, I'm not ready for that yet. So these are such doable steps if you're not ready for the step of like
Yeah,
putting your face out there.
it's
And
scary.
yeah, and also just not sleeping on all the different apps that are out there and who they attract. And then also the third takeaway I feel like is having different types of posts to attract the different type of consumers. Like that was gold. So
Yes,
I have my
yes.
homework. Thank you very much.
Hmm. Absolutely. I can't wait to see what you come up with.
Yes. All right. And then tell listeners where they can find you. What's your social media handle?
I do wedding marketing.
Oh, easy peasy. I do
Yep.
working. Okay, well we'll be looking for you. Thank you, Nina.
Thank you.